Welcome back, everybody. It is Championship Week Video Notebook Day number 2. Uh,
Wow. Woo.
I'm your host, Chad Sherwood. Then we got David Griggs and David Dorman joining
Can
me
you get me
here.
out of here? I've been in here for 2 whole days. Get me out of here.
It is time for the Hoops HD Championship Week Video Notebook, and as you all know very well,
Get me out of here.
thankfully, he is locked away, safe and sound in the puppet bunker.
It's not safe in here.
Streets are
It's
safe.
yeah.
I've been seeing these videos of you on X or Twitter or
Those
whatever we're
are like
calling it.
fake. Those are fake videos.
You're celebrating being in there,
Yeah.
Griggs. Yeah, I think
Well,
you're just playing a game with us when we're on these shows.
no,
Uh,
no. I mean, I after one of the videos, I chugged the whole thing of. There's only 4 whiskey bottles left in here now.
there were 5 last night, weren't there?
Yeah, there were 5.
Um, anyhow, what we like doing in these shows is we start, especially this first week of regular season games are still going on. We're no longer doing Hoops HD reports. Start by looking at quickly over the regular season games, and there were a lot of them tonight. Tuesday night's always a busy night. But I got the
Yes.
whole scoreboard up here. I wanted to take a quick look at.
Yeah.
As we record this, we see a few games that have not yet gone final, but uh,
How about a chalky night in the Big 12?
well,
Wow.
let's kind of go down these in order here so people can follow along. Though, Dorman,
Yep.
SEC, we saw a few crazy games. Georgia, first of all, led Alabama wire to wire.
Yeah, Georgia played great tonight. Cannon Catchings was the lead man on the press. He was throwing Alabama for a loop. They were not ready for it. The defensive pressure, I thought, got to Alabama. Alabama never really found their groove, and Georgia hit some big shots. Like I said, Catchings played great. Georgia, for those of you that didn't think had cemented it, they're in. Georgia has cemented their spot. I think they're playing pretty good ball. I think Coach White has done a great job with this team, and we'll see how well they do in the SEC tournament. But when this team gets away from the conference foes, they could win a game or two. And I know that's surprising to a lot, but this team has a lot of talent.
Yeah,
And
I
that's it
agree.
for
They're playing real
Alabama's win
well
streak.
here in the latter part of the season. But what were you saying, Chet?
Yeah, so that's it for Alabama's 8-game win streak too.
Yeah,
Yep.
Griggs, uh, Kentucky had been playing. Look, well, they were playing a lot better. A&M was going the wrong direction. Both those got flipped around tonight.
yeah. A&M, you got the sense they really needed this, if much for their mental health as it was for their resume building. They haven't won, they've won a lot of games, but they haven't won a lot of big ones. They did have the win at Texas. They're coming off the, I guess, the other end of that where they lost to their rival at home. So to bounce back from that and get a win like this, I think helps them out a lot. Not that they needed it to get in, but it certainly helps.
And a bit of an upset. Oh, Missouri goes to Oklahoma and suffers a loss. I still think Missouri's okay, but
I think
can't
so too,
can't
but
get
that
too
would have been
much.
a nice one to have. It was a winnable road game, and it was one they really should have won.
Yeah, we may in a few moments here have another final for you here. As we record this, Vandy and Ole Miss are tied with 30 seconds left in the game, so we'll find out what happens there. That could be another big upset tonight. A night full of upsets.
Yeah,
Uh, over in the SEC, over in the ACC, Dorman, Virginia took care of things. Clemson, North Carolina was a real good game, but North Carolina found a way to win it.
Yeah, they pulled it out in the end. They were a little sloppy in the middle part of the game. They made some mistakes through the turnovers. Were going left and right. Coach Hubert Davis called a few timeouts, settled his troops. Many times during this game, I actually thought Clemson was going to pull it out, get the road win in Chapel Hill, but it was not to be. Carolina survives, still not healthy, still waiting for their stud freshman back. But they hold serve at home. Clemson goes back to their losing ways after having a nice weekend over Louisville, a win over Louisville, but now back into the loss column. And maybe the free fall continues for the Tigers here.
Yeah, Louisville has just gone final, by the way. They did take care of Syracuse. Vatech remains on the board with by not losing to Boston College. That's about all I
yeah,
can say. Griggs, let's talk Big 12, though. You want to talk it. And start with TCU, who may have just locked up a tournament bid tonight with a win at Texas Tech.
yeah. A Texas Tech team that just, they're just all over the place. They go to they go to Hilton Coliseum and knock off Iowa State in what we were saying was one of the more impressive, surprising, extraordinary performances that we'd seen all year. And they follow that up with a loss at home to a team that was straddling the bubble. It's just this team can beat anyone and has beaten anyone. I think they've won more really, really hard games than any other team, but they've also lost some easy ones.
Yeah, and UCF continues their bounce back and forth
Golly.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another home loss to another
Ah,
non-tournament team.
Yeah.
I know.
Great
Because
comeback
I
too. I thought
praised
they
them
would do
last
it.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kept praising them in Texas Tech last night. So, of course, they go out and make me look stupid. Oklahoma State has looked like this sometimes this year. That's why early in December they were in the discussion for a tournament bid and maybe on the bubble here and there. And tonight they played well. They overcame the crowd. Central Florida, I thought the students were into it. I thought the place was jumping in Orlando, but they just came up a little short. There were some shots towards the end they couldn't get to fall, but the Cowboys, I give them a lot of credit on the road, pull it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about
K-State
West
and
Virginia losing to a team with no coach?
yeah, that's it for West Virginia. If they were still on your bubble, they're probably not
Yeah.
anymore. Uh, and Cincinnati, as we record, is putting the finishing touches on a blowout win over BYU.
Yeah.
I guess maybe we got to look at Cincinnati again in the next couple of days here, especially.
I think we do. I made the comment last night that they don't have a tournament caliber profile, but right now they are playing like a tournament caliber team. They are a tournament caliber team on the floor anyway. And I don't know if they can get in without the auto bid. I mean, maybe if they have some crazy hard path and they knock off a couple of protected seeds in the conference tournament. But they're good enough to break some stuff. Uh, between now and the end of the Big 12 tournament.
Uh, as we expected at halftime of the Kansas-Arizona State game, it was a 20-point game, and the head coach of the team that was trailing had been ejected.
Yeah.
It was just backwards.
Right.
But however, Kansas has come out hard in the second half. The game is still going on as we record this. They're right back in this game. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll get an update before we're done tonight. Big Ten, Nebraska, UCLA is the big game. It hasn't even tipped off yet. Real quick, the Big East, St. John's and Seton Hall did what they need to do tonight. Although St. John's got a battle from Georgetown. In the Mountain West, San Diego State is about to probably end their bubble hopes. They're down late at Boise State as we record this.
Yeah, after just hanging on and hanging around and messing around, they finally got the job done and blew themselves up.
Yeah. VCU did what they need to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
That Dorman, they took care of George Mason in the A-10. Still
Yeah,
on the
they
board.
stay. I agree, Chad. They stay alive. I think they're going to be talked about in the committee room long and hard because our power team bubblers seem to keep losing. TCU, Indiana, I could go down the list. VCU keeps climbing my rankings. They're very alive for an at-large bid, the Rams of VCU.
UMBC and UNC Wilmington both finished off their regular season titles in their leagues. And probably the game of the night, Griggs. Toledo, Miami, Ohio. Once again, the Miracle Red Hawks found a way to hold on and win a game 30-0.
Well, one of the things that was different about this game is that Miami was actually ahead for most of it as opposed to behind for most of it. So, I mean, wouldn't this be considered one of their more boring games?
The last few minutes were definitely not boring.
Yeah.
But they've got one game left. It's Friday night. It's their big rival. It's at Ohio University. I think they win that. There's no doubt they're in no matter what happens in the MAC tournament. They're probably in either way, but I think
Yeah.
that will lock it up.
And I agree with you. The committee has not been kind to teams that have played weak schedules. While there aren't many case studies like this, or none specifically like this, I want to say like Utah State one year. I mean, again, this was 20 years ago. Was up in the rankings. A bloated record wasn't selected. Murray State won 28 one year, up in the rankings, but all of those wins were sub 250, except for I think four of them wasn't selected. But this is. I think that Miami has played a weaker schedule than both those teams, but they didn't lose any of them. And the reason I think I say this a lot is once they get into the MAC tournament, they can't do anything that they haven't already done. and they shouldn't be punished for not doing something a second time that they've already done. I think if they win the Battle of the Bricks on Friday, they should be in, maybe even on the first ballot.
Let's go to the conference tournament games. Dorman, let's start off with the Patriot League. Pair our games tonight. Bucknell gets the home win over Army, and Holy Cross with a mild upset at Lafayette.
It was it was an upset, no doubt. Holy Cross down at halftime, came back and had a really good second half. Outscored them, I believe, by 10 points on the road. I thought Holy Cross played well. They stuck in there the first half while they couldn't have the lead. They really hung in there. They played solid D. They're well coached. They knocked some shots down the stretch, and Lafayette, the Leopards go home, and Holy Cross moves on. We'll see them against Lehigh at Lehigh Thursday night.
Yep, Griggs in the other game, Bucknell, they just found a way really in the second half to just put this Army team away. It probably wasn't even really that close to that 10-point final.
Yeah, I did. Army was competitive in the first half, and I was kind of hopeful just for as a fan. You wanted to see Army Navy and Lafayette Lehigh. We don't get either one of those, and the whole tournament's ruined.
Maybe this tournament isn't ruined. The Horizon League, we had it's way down in the bottom, but we had one of the 5 quintuple final games.
Yeah.
It was Green Bay taking care of Fort Wayne. Honestly, Dorman, it was a late run by Fort Wayne, made this game close. Green Bay looked like they were in control for a while.
Yeah, they were in control down the stretch. They threw the ball away a few times, Green Bay, but eventually they got it done. I know it's a weird thing to say because I had some angst last year for Doug Gottlieb, but I really think he's done a really good job this year. Turning this whole program. Yeah, there was a lot of people at the game tonight.
There were.
I thought the atmosphere was fun. The kids were enjoying it. It was great. This was a really fun game, and it's great to see some of our under the radar under the radar teams really come back around. This was a great program in the 80s and 90s under Coach Bennett, and it's great to see him back. Like I said, I think Gottlieb's done a really nice job. They move on, and they're going to play based on the seeding. So this is one where we're going to see the highest seed play the lowest seed. So we don't know where they'll play exactly because they're right in the middle at a 5. So that is yet to be seen. But Green Bay moves on. Gottlieb is going to the second round of this tournament.
Yeah, well, they're going to that most likely be in that Sunday game, which is we're calling. I think it's the whatever the hell it is finals as opposed to Monday, which is semifinals, middle finals. I don't know, but Griggs, we got 4 games in this conference. The 4 other quintuple final games tomorrow.
Yeah.
Cleveland State at Wright State, Youngstown at Robert Morris, Milwaukee at Detroit, Northern Kentucky at Oakland. Honestly, I think I see chalk at all 4 games, but
I think so too. Home court advantage plays a role. It's just sort of weird looking at this because it's like, wait a minute, why isn't Oakland playing the 5? Oh yeah, it's a quintuple final, not a quarterfinal.
4-7, 3-8, 2-9, 1-10.
Yeah,
Weird numbers.
Yeah. I think the chalk holds. I'm trying to pick an upset just because it's fun to do that, but I'm not seeing one.
If one's going to really happen, Dorman, I'm kind of leaning Milwaukee, Detroit if someone's going to happen, but I'm really hesitant on that one.
I see what you're going there. I kind of see Detroit Mercy making a run in this tournament, so that wouldn't be my upset. I like Robert Morris as well. I wasn't impressed with Cleveland State. I think Wright State takes care of business. I'm with you guys. I don't see much. In Oakland, I love Coach Campy. My one upset would be Northern Kentucky, but I'm with you guys. I think it'll be a chalky night in the Horizon.
I believe Cleveland State beat Wright State during the regular season. So
they did, and they did it at Wright State.
At Wright State back on January 21st. So just throw that out there. It's they know how to win at Wright State at least.
They do, yeah. And I mean, this was a league where it just ate itself. Whenever it looked like you were going to see some consistency, you suddenly didn't.
I guess on that note, it's time to move to the stairway to 7.
Yes.
Yes, we had round 1 of the stairway tonight. had the chalk hold. Although both games were somewhat competitive.
Yeah,
The second game, it was really a real late run by Monroe who that actually cut the game, I believe, down to four at one
they
point, but
did. They
just
got
not
real.
quite enough.
Yeah, they got real close. I think they were down 15 or about that in the second half, and they went on a run and got themselves back into it. Now, Old Dominion pulled away in the last minute to, you know, put it away somewhat, but both games were good. And then Louisiana, again, it was close for what would you say, 35 minutes before they
Yeah.
kind of got control
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
And if they
and
can
that,
win
Yeah.
17 more in 17 days, they could be the champ.
Yeah. And
again,
it
it
was,
would be the greatest feat in college basketball history if they could win this. Either of these teams, Louisiana and Old Dominion, are now the only two teams in the nation with the chance to win games in 7 days.
yeah.
I
And,
don't think anybody at any level has played 7 games in a row in
yeah.
7 straight days. And it all
And,
starts tomorrow night.
yeah.
Louisiana, James Madison, Old Dominion, Georgia Southern.
This
Are we going to
tournament
see an
takes a
upset,
while to
either
get
one?
good.
You
If
know,
they can win 7 this week, 6 in 2 weeks will be nothing.
Yeah.
what do you think, Dorman? Do you see enough? Do you see either of these winners from today being able to win tomorrow again?
I could see Lafayette giving James Madison a game. I don't think James Madison has been all that impressive down the stretch. They've looked good, they look bad. I could see Lafayette staying in the game. I do like Georgia Southern slightly over Dominion. These wouldn't be huge upsets in my mind. So I think both, and I happen to like the teams that have already played only ones that are going. Their feet are wet. They shot in the gym yesterday. They run up and down. They sweated. The teams that are just starting yesterday. Sometimes they get off to slow starts and they get themselves behind, and it's tough to get back in it. So look for the teams that played today to get off to good starts tomorrow.
I actually kind of go the other way. I think James Madison wins. I think it's Old Dominion that has the better shot of pulling off the upset tomorrow, but we'll see. That is it for the games that were played today, but we've got a bunch of conferences starting tomorrow
Yes.
night.
It's a busy day tomorrow.
Uh, let's start things off. Greg, let's start things off in the A-Sun. It is first round day. Uh, 3 games to be played at UNF's Arena in Jacksonville. Bellarmine, Jacksonville, Florida Gulf Coast, North Alabama, Eastern Kentucky, Stetson. And then for the evening session at 7:30, because North Florida's in the game, they're going over to Jacksonville's building
Yeah.
for the West Georgia North Florida game.
Yeah. And again, we've got noon basketball in opening round of the Sun Belt. So for the next, there's a day off and then it resumes Friday. I'm really excited about this tournament. If I'm watching, but not so much about the opening round, if I'm honest. I'm more excited to see Central Arkansas, Lipscomb, P and Queens. Really, all 4 teams that got buys are going to be fun to watch. If there's a team to watch tomorrow, it was my preseason to pick to win it all. Eastern Kentucky been real disappointing. I still think that they very much underperformed. I don't know if they're going. I don't think they can be dangerous. I don't think they're going to beat Austin P. But I do think that they can handle Stetson tomorrow.
I kind of
Is this just one of those? Doesn't it feel like we just need to get through these games so we can get to the real games?
I think the Bellarmine Jacksonville just being an 8-9 game could be a good game.
Yeah.
I think though there's 3 teams that are playing tomorrow in Gulf Coast, Eastern Kentucky, and West Georgia who all have chances to pull off upsets when we get to the quarterfinal round. So I would not look past the teams that win tomorrow from not being able to make some noise.
Okay.
But
You
Dorman,
could be right. Yeah.
let me throw it out there. Who's going to win the A-Sun tournament?
I am going with Scottie Pippen, Central Arkansas
Yes.
team here.
Yes. The
Let's see him
sentimental
get it
pick.
done. Let's
Yeah.
see him get it done. Let's see Central Arkansas dance. They've had a great year. This program is totally turned around. This was a team that was struggling to win any games at any time in the past years, and they really have switched it around, and winning ways have come. So I'd like to see, like Greg said, sentimental. I'd like to see Central Arkansas take care of business here, but it's going to be tough. I could see there's so many teams here I could make a case for.
Yeah, I mean Austin P had a great season.
Yeah,
Queens first year eligible.
yeah.
Lipscomb was leading this conference for a while. Uh,
Yeah.
Griggs, it is also quarterfinal round day tomorrow in the NEC.
Woo-hoo. We got our first
Chicago State's at Long
quarterfinals.
Island,
Woo.
Stonehill's at Lemoyne, Wagner's at Central, and Fairleigh Dickinson is at Mercyhurst.
Yeah. Looking forward to all these. You'll need to download in NEC Front Row. It's a free download. You can watch all of these. You can download it on 4 different devices and watch all 4 games at once. That's what we'll be doing.
You can watch them all at once. Uh, in terms of the seeds tomorrow, the only game that I'm looking at is the Stonehill Lemoyne game, uh, which is be a shame because we're rooting for the chance of a Lemoyne Mercyhurst championship game. Neither team
Yeah.
postseason eligible. It's still on the bottom. The 2 semifinal losers would then play a third place game for the automatic bid. But I think Stonehill may pull off this upset.
Yeah.
Um, but let me ask you both: who's going to win who do you think wins the conference tournament? And if you pick Lemoyne or Mercyhurst, I'll follow that up with who do you think gets the automatic bid?
I would like to see that happen just because I want to know what ESPN's going to do. Are they going to show the championship game of this, or are they going to show the third
My
place
understanding
game, which
is
would be for the bid?
yeah, my understanding is their contract for that 7 p.m. ESPN2 spot is the championship game, but do they find somewhere like an ESPN News or something to show the third place game?
The NEC Front
I
Row.
think they. I think
If
they.
not,
Will.
it would definitely be at NEC front row at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with another sentimental pick, Hot Rod Strickland. I'd love to see Coach Strickland there of the Long Island Dolphins get it done. I think there'll be way too much for Chicago State, but I think they can go through this tournament. Again, like Riggs always says, we love this tournament. They play on home courts, on the campuses. So I'd love to see the students come out in all 4 of these venues tomorrow. Make it really fun. Make it exciting.
They should. And it's hard to not pick Long Island because they just dominated the league. They didn't win every game, and they had some, but they won far more than anybody else did. And even when they lost, you had the feeling that they should have won. So, yeah. But my sentimental pick will be Chicago State. This is a team that has caught fire and forced the Bears to leave the city of Chicago. There's so much enthusiasm around this program right now.
Okay, yeah. I'm going with LIU as well to win this. It's LIU the Sharks, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, the Sharks.
The Blackbirds.
I said the Dolphins.
Lemoyne is your Dolphins in this game.
Dolphins.
Yeah.
Okay. It is opening round day in the OVC tomorrow night with the 5, 8, and 6, 7 games. Griggs, SIU,
Yeah.
Edwardsville, Eastern Illinois, Lindenwood, Little Rock.
hmm
Do we care?
A little bit.
Okay.
Okay, I think you should care about this 5-8 game. I think SIUE wins it. UT Martin is such a tire fire that I think whoever wins that game tomorrow knocks out Martin. Martin had the best out of conference by far out of anyone in the conference, out of anyone in the OVC, and up until about 3 weeks ago, they appeared to be running away from it, and then they channeled their inner like Northern Colorado of January and just completely fell apart so spectacularly that you just couldn't believe it was possible. And whoever wins that game tomorrow, I think knocks out Martin and goes into the semis,
Goes into
even
the
if it's
semi,
Eastern Illinois.
goes into the semis. I'll agree with that. I think that team does fall to Tennessee State.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
quite frankly, I'm taking Tennessee State over SEMO in the championship game here. I've been
Yeah.
on this Tennessee State bandwagon all season,
You have.
and I think I'm going to ride them into the championship. Dorman, what do you
Yeah.
think?
Just a phenomenal year for a program that has really struggled in recent years. One of the better stories in the OVC. They're the team to beat.
Dorman, you with me?
By upset tomorrow only because it's by seed upset. I see the Little Rockos probably knocking off Lindenwood and moving on to SEMO. I like SEMO in the finals over Tennessee State.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're both going with SEMO in the championship. Let's jump over to 2 more conferences. It is opening round day in the Big South, and this is a big game, actually. The reason I say that, South Carolina Upstate Gardner-Webb. Right now, we are calling Gardner-Webb the favorite for our Centenary Award because Mississippi Valley State's won a couple games this season. In fact, is only down 2 late.
Yeah, they were in the game tonight, too.
If Gardner-Webb loses, I think they've locked up the award for the worst team in D1. We'll finalize that next week, but that's my thought here on this game.
I kind of think so too.
And their only D1 win all season was over Upstate. So
Yeah.
uh, it's possible, and it's possible they could win it. So we'll see. Uh, Dorman, let me start with you. Who wins the Big South tournament?
I usually don't go chalk, but I can't see anyone winning this tournament. I've looked every which way. I'm on High Point.
I'm with you, Griggs.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I wanted to pick Winthrop and would have had they been completely healthy, but they're not. It's going to be High Point.
It will be. One more conference starting off. It is also 8-9 day in the Summit League.
Yes.
Oral Roberts and Kansas City in a game that, well, yeah,
We've been in touch with the venue. We've been in touch with the city of Sioux Falls, and emergency vehicles and public. They are Chad. They're telling us tonight that they are convinced they can handle this crowd tomorrow.
I'm glad that they can. Again, let's throw the question out there. Griggs, I'll start with you. Who wins the Summit League tournament?
Um, they are they finished 2 games behind, but they finished so strong and look so impressive. I'm actually going with the Tommies over North Dakota State.
Strong pick. I'm kind of leaning to agree with you. Dorman?
Oh, we're in trouble. I'm on the Tommies.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, guys. All right, I'm taking Omaha.
Good move.
Denver,
Yeah.
Denver,
But
Denver.
for the
Well, that's the
tournament,
thing.
this
I
is
think Denver. I think Denver
yeah.
knocks off North Dakota. We'll talk about that tomorrow, I guess. But or will we? Yeah, we
Well,
will.
I should talk about that. That game is until Friday, so we'll talk about that in Thursday night show.
Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday night show. Okay.
This
So
is always a really fun tournament, though. A lot of offense,
yeah.
big high scoring players. There's always some great shooters, big time scorers. So we kid about tomorrow's game, but once this gets to Thursday in the quarters, this is going to be great fun
Oh, it
basketball.
always is. Yeah.
Uh, just a quick score note here. Mississippi Valley State did not win tonight. Alcorn did hold on by 3. San Diego State did lose. BYU did lose. And we don't yet have a final on that Vandy Ole Miss game because it's in overtime as we record
What
this.
channel is that on?
ESPN Plus only, or
Oh,
SEC Plus or whatever.
okay.
Let's go to our survival board though. This is our Hoops HD NCAA Tournament Survival Board. This is where we were after last night's games. We were down to only 339 teams left. We've got to get this down to 68. So
Yeah.
we got a long way to go here, Griggs.
Yeah.
But let's start by seeing what happened as a result of today's games. And we lost a few teams in the MAC through some regular season eliminations as well. Uh, 330
Man,
teams left.
that was a busy day. Yeah, those MAC eliminations. So
Yeah,
we
we
knocked
lost
9 teams out. Yeah.
Four out of the 5 teams in the MAC that are going to get eliminated regular season got eliminated tonight.
Yeah.
But if we go 9 teams at a time, we're going to be here a long time.
Yeah.
Let's pick this up the pace a little here, guys.
Right.
But Griggs, can you tell people what this is when we look down at this sheet here? Like
Well,
when
I
we look
mean,
at Big 12,
essentially,
for example.
it's a quick snapshot of where everybody stands and who's a lock, who's been eliminated. Like we mentioned that the 9 teams that were just eliminated, who's under consideration, not locked but could still play their way in, and who's still playing but can't get in without the automatic bid. So that's what this is. Now, what this is used for, and the reason we do this is to assist the selection committee to help them through that process. It's a difficult process. A lot of these guys, they come in, they're athletic directors, and they might be good at balancing budgets and staffing the office and, making runs to all in making sure all the office supplies are in order and like that the printers are working, but they might not know a whole lot about basketball. I mean, that has occurred to us. So this board helps them out. I mean, this is just an amazing resource.
Right. So when they're in the room, for example,
Yeah.
if they're debating whether or not Arizona gets in,
Yeah.
Norman, good news for you. Your team is a lock. They're in. No matter what.
Nice. Good.
And they know that because of this board.
Another one of your favorite teams, they're about to beat Kansas as we record this, Arizona State.
No.
But this says that no, only if they win the auto bid out of the Big 12.
Right. They've been so this win, even though they're winning this game, and I can understand if you're a committee member and your main duty, like you're an athletic director, but your main duty is to make sure there's coffee in the office, the pens are working. You may not have seen a basketball game, until tonight. And you're going to be like, well, wow, we should take Arizona State. But then they would cross-reference that with this board and realize they shouldn't.
What if they saw, like I said, Cincinnati just beat BYU, and they say, should we take Cincinnati or not?
Um, and the answer there is that would be one that they would have to discuss.
Okay, we're not doing all the work for them.
We're not doing all the work. Yeah,
Okay, just most of it.
just yeah, just most of it. Yeah.
uh, as you know, last night, Griggs, we tested out your new Griggs AI.
Yes, this is an amazing tool. Another amazing tool.
How are the
Um,
sales today?
yeah.
Uh, Zero.
Yeah, we
Oh.
haven't sold. Well, that's why we're
I'm trying to figure
demonstrating.
out what the base and the bonnet do up here. I have
Yeah.
not figured those out yet. They don't seem to work.
Well, anyway,
But
this is like you need to be in AI. We're in the AI generation, and if you need to, you're going to just fall behind the curve if you're not. And that's why I've created this. I care about people. I care about the fans, and this is Griggs AI, and we're
I'm,
still
I'm,
working on it.
I'm
But
$699 plus $5 for last night's questions. I'm going to invest $5 more tonight, Greg. We want to see if this works.
yeah,
Here's the question. I ran this question by another AI. It's how would the number one seeds this year match up against the John Wooden UCLA teams?
ooh, that's a
And
good. See, this is a basketball related question. Okay,
yeah, and the other AI talked about the various teams there. That they look at pace, athleticism, 3-point shooting, physicality. Really favored the 67, 68, and the 72, 73 teams.
wow.
As you can see there, it was a pretty solid answer, I
Yeah,
thought.
I mean, there's a lot of information there. That's not a bad answer. I'm not knocking that answer, but it isn't. Well, I just think that you're going to get a better answer from Griggs AI.
Well, we're going to feed that same question in here into the Griggs AI, and 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 I actually did figure out the voice controls for this for a second here. But
Okay.
let's first of all run it here. Let's see. There it goes. It's,
Yeah.
it's doing the work, and
Yeah, it's thinking.
Well, the players from UCLA teams that John Wooden coached are now very old, and many of them are dead. I think the number one seeds would do very well against them. Teams that have reunited for games and seasons after their players have become old and dead have had some success. You may recall that the 1939 Oregon team nearly made the Elite Eight back in 2016, but it's still very difficult for them to compete against today's teams.
is that the right answer, Griggs? Are you sure?
I, well, a lot of the players from the John Wooden era are in, ailing health, probably.
I give up. Let's go to final thoughts. Dorman, if you can.
Just going to bring up a couple of things. I would love all of our under the radar teams to bring all of their schools to the conference tournaments. If you are not going to give the number one team of the during the season, the automatic bid, then bring every school to the conference tournament. In the MAC, they're bringing 8 teams to Cleveland over next weekend. Why are we leaving 5 of them out? We have 13 teams. If you want to give them a bye, these 8 teams to the quarters and make the other 5 or 6, 4 play a game or two, I'm fine with that. But let's bring everyone. If we're going to include all these teams and you're not going to give it to the team that won the regular season, let's bring all the schools. Let's have everyone get to compete. Let's get everyone one last shot at it. And I'd love to see our under the radar schools include all the teams in their conference tournaments.
Quick update here, by the way. Arizona State just beat Kansas, but the win has been invalidated, Griggs, because they stormed the court.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
yeah.
Griggs, final thoughts to end off the show.
Yes.
First quarterfinals tomorrow in the NEC. That one's going to be a fun tournament. I'm just still looking forward to. I still think that these opening round games are compelling to watch because they are knockout games. And while most of the teams that are playing this early aren't going to go far in their conference tournaments or probably won't, it was still kind of fun watching those Sun Belt games and Patriot League games tonight.
It was.
I agree.
Yeah.
On that note, I do want to take this chance to thank everybody for joining us. We'll be back again sometime tomorrow night with another one of these, and every night from there on out. But on
Yeah.
behalf of David Griggs and David Dorman, I'm Chad Sherwood. Thanks for joining us. Talking to you again tomorrow night.